To quote the voice of Atlantic Motocross, the great Larry McCaw, it is time to invade the Glade. Ryan Gall and Mark Travers in the Star Straight at the River Glade Motocross track, one of the most beautiful facilities anywhere in the country. And of course, we are just outside the town of Moncton in the province of New Brunswick. Galdi, we've got a spectacular day, a fantastic track, and we've got some things heating up in the MX2 class.
Oh yeah, MX2 is a barn burner around. The 1 and 2 positions are kind of solidified with Teddy Mayer and Jeremy Medaglia, but you got Jared Allison, Brad Noddet, Topher Ingles, and Kyle Beaton right now, all within about 11 points with only 6 motos remaining in this class. So a lot of chance for those guys to come in here, and that third spot is pretty prestigious. You want to be on that podium at the final stage of Walton there. And then you got a guy like Kevin Benoit on the number 12 who comes into St. Julian wins. He's going to get in the middle of all these guys, so it's real important for those 4 riders to stay at the front of the pack and stay tight to keep those points in there to chase that third spot.
Quickly talk about how the track's setting up. Of course, always a dynamic track here. They've added that new section to put a little bit more time, and I like the way that the ruts are setting up as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said a minute ago, the fun part is what's going on here. A lot of good flow. A couple of riders are saying that the GP section's got a lot of sawdust in there. It's kind of difficult to get through, but everything else that they've added to the track, the new section in the back there, the apple orchard, I guess they're calling it, very cool. Lots of options for passing, which is a little bit different we see this year. And I think, but the guys that are going to be wanting to move through the pack are going to be aggressive. You're going to have to get the elbows up, maybe get the nose in there to make the passes here today. But the crowd, the atmosphere at this place is one of the best ones to come to the year, and the track right now is primo. It's bedtime to get it going.
Nice job, Gigi. Okay, up to the booth with Fabs. Let's get caught up with those points.
Hey, thanks, boys. That's the backward hat gang down there at the start line. To the points, obviously, Mayer and Medaglia long gone. But 3rd through 6th is pretty tight. And 7th through 10th, we've got a logjam of fast riders in there. So today will be really important for the points. The boys going out on their parade lap here at River Glade. Stick around, racing after the break.
Well, would you look who arrived in Moncton? It is Monster Blonde Julie, and she is walking out with that 30 board as we get ready for the first MX2 Moto of the day, and it will be brought to you by MX Performance Magazine, the #1 motocross magazine in the country. And my goodness, Teresa's looking good today. Fabulous.
I don't know what she's got going, but she's got a leg tanning machine, I think, because those things are looking pretty tan there, Travs.
MX2 boys on the line. 30 board is going to 5 via Monster Julie. Let's check back as we go on board the drift. Action cam, the number 12. Dill like KTM and Kevin Benoit. And the gate is down. Brian Medaglia with a great jump.
Well, side by side with his old teammate Jeremy on the factory Red Bull. Royal Distributing KTM, and it looks like Beaton has come through with that Royal Distributing whole shot. Gets on the inside.
Beaton with a great line on the outside, but look who got the lead early on the inside. Drift action can. That's the number 12 of Benoit in the lead.
Man, it's always cool being out front. This is exactly how it feels down the tree line chute, adjacent to the highway. Some good ruts here. First moto of the day. It's going to get a little choppier and a little more rutted out as the day wears on, but Beaton also makes a real quick move on Jeremy. That was a nice pass.
Some familiar faces up in the top 5. There is the number 19 of Ingles in 4th. And I think we're checking back to Spencer Knowles, number 28, G8 Checkpoint Yamaha, 5th place.
Knowles has been hot all morning. This jump right here is called the catapult. They double, and then if you land on top, that's a catapult. Knowles did it like 3 times in practice, but every time was wide on the corner, so it's one of those risk versus gain scenarios.
The beautiful step down in the middle of the River Glade MX Park as our MX2 boys funnel into the back section. Brian, this is the new part right here, the apple orchard. They've opened it up, got rid of a bunch of trees, and they kind of drop down into the valley. Huge sweeper around the corner. Let's check it. Benoit in the lead as we go on board. I see Beaton in 2nd place. Jeremy Medaglia in 3rd.
Yeah, and on the right-hand side of the screen, the big bank up, down. This is that old off-camber. Yeah, some puddles here when they water the track. It's so hard. It pools at the bottom. Look at Beaton on the left-hand side of the screen. Makes a quick move on Benoit. This kid is on fire. Can't say enough about the skills of Kyle Beaton. He's passed Jeremy this year. He's passed Benoit. He's run up front with all our top riders. Just having a problem finishing in the top 3.
Got great traction coming out of that off camber. It looked like Benoit bobbled just a little bit, and then he used that outside berm to carry speed. Look at Ingles on the inside. Does he have Medaglia? I think so as they come up to the finish line. Here's a replay of the start again as we go on board with Benoit, and you see Kyle Beaton just get on the gas with a great jump, crosses that line and gets that $200 from Royal Distributing in the whole shot.
And I like Kyle taking the grass there, getting good braking. Dylan Kalin out. He had a good start, and they are looking like, I think that is a full DNF. I think they're off to the pits.
Dylan Kalin visibly frustrated. Brian, he's had a tough time staying on the track this season. Back up to the lead. The number 108 Monster leading edge Kawasaki of Kyle Beaton looking good over that beautiful floater in front of the fans, and Kevin Benoit is holding tight in second place.
Yeah, that section there by the mechanics area is a triple, but on these opening laps, they're doubling and then singling it. Some riders having a lot of difficulty there. Look at Benoit crisscrossing. You can see a lot of the stones out here. The roost is punishing. Beaton safe by now. I think they might have clocked there. He got completely sideways down into the wood section. Looks like Beats has got the inside.
The GP section today looks spectacular, Brian. Oh my goodness, contact on the inside. I thought Beaton had that inside line. Kevin Benoit got his nose in there, and it got dirty.
Benoit got the inside. Maybe a little contact. I think Beats was going for the corner. Saw that orange KTM and went wide. Now Jeremy, he's got the best seat in the house for this battle. Here it is, Travis, in slow-mo. Down they go. It looks like Beats has it all to himself. Comes in for the inside rut there, and Benoit just says, I think I'm gonna just come one more inside. I don't think there was a hard touch there, but enough to make Beaton go, whoa, and step right out of it and hand that lead off to the number 12.
Back to our battle for what looks like second place. Yes, Beaton in second, Medallion in third, and Ingles in fourth. Actually, we got a nice little cluster. Brian, we did get a report that a water main broke. That's why that huge puddle of Beaton has a problem. Hit a kicker on the outside, got real soft. Medallia, oh, he's always there, Brian. He took advantage of it.
Man, easy pass for Jeremy. So that's KTM's 1 and 2. Leading edge Monster Cowie sitting third, and the danger man that you mentioned, Ingles, right there, and the number 19 on it. And Ingles gets on the inside of Beats. Seems like once Beats gets past, he gets a bit demoralized because these guys have just went bam, bam, bam in succession. Put Beats back to fourth.
Beats losing 3 position, 1 lap, Brian. He's got to get focused because it looks like right now he's got Teddy Mayer in his heels, and here comes the 28. Oh my goodness, and there you are right there.
Yeah.
Teddy Mayer tripling through the mechanics area.
And so does Spenny, number 28 there on the GA Check Yamaha. Here's that low point where the water's gathered up. Beats has got a nice line around the outside. Just bam, there's a hard spot, and Jeremy just tucks just a couple inches inside of it and hooks up, and they were taking the same line. So if Beats wasn't so far outside, his front end hit that and it just kind of stifled him. Had a moment. Easy pass there for Jeremy.
On this track, it could be a big rock, maybe a kicker, you never know. Buried down in that soft berm, but Beaton this time doesn't want any part of that outside line. Still looking good right now. Mayer hot in his heels.
Yeah, Mayer is dealing with a lot of roost right now. This is fourth place on the line, so Teddy wants to make sure he gets inside and outside, both wearing that Thor gear in blue. They look all the part of teammates, and there goes Teddy right up the inside. Boy, Kyle left that open with a lapper there. You have to get out of the throttle.
Very interesting how small that rut is, Brian, but how important it was to get it on that inside line as Mayer skies over the triple. Beaton just trying to get focused right now, Brian. Here it is again.
Yeah, up the lifter they go. Lots of elevation changes, a lot of fun floating jumps here for the riders. But it's this terrain, the rocky dirt that's difficult. And there, Teddy gets right in that inside groove. Kyle likes the outside, as does Knowles. There's really good traction there, but when someone's trying to pass you, they can get in there and cut you off. Exactly what Mayer did.
Dynamite friends off the track with Beaton mentoring Knowles as a young pilot. Right now on the track, though, they're warriors. Spencer Knowles has been ultra fast this year, Brian. He's been on the podium. He's had a couple of problems. He's put the bike down, but anytime Spenny's on the track, look out.
Yeah, and he's, borderline privateers, getting a lot of help from GA Checkpoint Yamaha. But when you come to the racetrack and a guy like Beaton's got the semi-hauler there, the bikes are ready, a full team of mechanics, it really gives you the mental edge. But on the outside, look at Knowles, all grit, gets the pass done. He's got the advantage here up to the mechanics.
Oh, no, Brian, did you see that coming out of the valley? Overcooked by Beaton right into Knowles, and he pushed him right off the track. That was a huge crash.
This is not good at all. We've got a lot of guys out there. Looks like Richard Greystad's pulling the bikes apart, and Beaton's there holding that left ankle. And Knowles, he is still in a heap. Here it is. He lands. Beaton over jumps, lands right at the bottom. Knowles comes over on his regular line, but Beats has got nowhere to go. And oh boy, you could just see the lower leg damage there. Beat lands right in the hole, and Knowles is already cutting over, and he's got nowhere to go except right in the back of Knowles. And here comes Kyle down hard. We saw him reaching right for that left ankle, and as he lands, the ankle completely buckles. So no question, I would say that's broke. And then Knowles here takes a hard digger as well, And that is a high-speed crash. My goodness, that was awful. A racing incident, I think Beats just kind of overcooked it. Knowles figured he had room to cut over, and if Beats didn't hit Knowles, I think he would have saved it, just landed way out kind of in that start line area. Would have missed the corner, of course, but what a tragic event.
A somber note has descended upon this Riverglade track as we're looking right now at the battle for third place. We're looking at the number 19 of Topher Ingles in third, and tell you what, Teddy Mayer's been gathering up positions right, left, and center from not a great start. There's Beaton on the ground there, tending to his ankle. He still looks like he's conscious anyway. I guess that's a good thing. To our leader, number 12, Kevin Benoit, and number 15, Jeremy Medaglia has closed the gap, Brian. He is a scant 3 or 4 seconds behind.
He's not letting Benoit get away. Jeremy, ultra fast on this racetrack. He likes this track. Teddy back in third. But let's talk about Beaton and Knowles. Both those guys in the hunt for the championship. There's Spencer there, obviously holding his side and very shaken up. Very good friends. You'd mentioned that Kyle, a couple years older, really mentored Spencer. They're both from BC. They are super close off the racetrack. So this is just devastating for their camp and for the points chase, man. These guys are both vying for position, especially Beaton. He's going for third in the championship.
Mayer had slipped by Ingles in the back section to get third. You just saw Ingles going by, getting his last lap flag in fourth place. To our leader, Duroy KTM. The number 12 of Kevin Benoit, who's been in the lead almost since the first lap, Brian. He's been taking this East MX2 series by storm. A whole bunch of moto wins. It's a tragedy we didn't see him out west. And I'm liking him on this Riverglade track as he comes around that right-hander to his final approach, takes the checker flag with a big booter. Takes the win in the first MX2 moto. Wow, we will be right back.
Welcome back to Riverglade Raceway here in Moncton, New Brunswick. Disappointed Teddy Mayer. Looks like he wished he had done better to the Yamaha leaderboard. Benoit Medaglia have a great moto. Ingles fights hard to fourth. The rest of these guys inherit a couple spots with Knowles and Beaton out. Travers has got our winner.
Winning the first MX2 moto here at the Glade in style is the number 12 Duroy KTM of Kevin Benoit. Kevin, you have come upon this series like a house on fire, buddy. 2 wins back-to-back. You are on it, my friend.
Yeah, I had a good start, top 3 start, and made some quick passes in the first corner, and after that, tried to focus on the track, on my lines, and rode a good race.
Solid second place finish for the number 15, Jeremy Medaglia. Tough track out there, Jeremy. Closed the gap on Kevin early, but I think you're thinking second place is as good as a win in the first moto.
Yeah, I just I had a really good start, and I tried to catch up to him, and I was able to close a little bit, but like I've said before, he's riding good, everyone's riding good, and it's a little bit smooth right now. It'll get rougher towards the afternoon, so yeah, second is as good as the first, but hey, I want to get that win.
Hi, I'm Parker Allison, number 23, and I ride the YZ250F. I sometimes wonder if I'm supposed to be Jared and he's Parker and we got switched up at birth or something. We look so the same, I don't even know. Like, we look at pictures and we can't tell each other apart. We're identical twins from the waist up. I listen to country music all the time and pretty much that's it. I like Eric Church, I listen to stuff a lot. Never been to a rave before, no. Don't plan on going to one either. Yeah, I got some good moves. It's the sprinkler. Growing up on the farm is pretty much the greatest thing ever. It's awesome just to pull your bike out of the shop, go riding. Craziest thing I ever done with a cow. Never killed a chicken before. Sheep are more fluffier. Favorite superhero is for sure Batman. Every Halloween I was Batman. I got Batman underwear, Batman pajamas. I even got my girlfriend Batman underwear. So I'm in my pre-veterinarian right now. University's great for me. I know I need to find something to do after my dirt bike career, and as long as I'm going to school, I can still race dirt bikes.
Parker Allison taking care of business. Okay, Mark Travers and Brian Coster in the booth with the MX1 pilots getting their gate positions and getting their gate ready as we see the number 11 of Tyler Medaglia, of course, racing this weekend. Brian, remember, hurt his ankle last weekend in St. Julie, so that's a tough one. Let's get to our points in the MX1 class after 6 of 9. Gorky, Canary, and Klatt looking really good. I like Berger, Burke, and Moffenbauer rounding out the top 10. Perhaps here's a great shot of the number 273, Gavin Graysick, Redemption Racing, really turning some heads lately. He's up to 6th place in the points.
Former national number 2, getting stronger every weekend. Josh Clark here, 55, his mechanic. Ron Bushy showing him the way down the start chute, and the new Brian Lockhart, hometown hero, whole shot Gopher Dunes, great off the starts. He's racing after the break.
This is the Riverglade MX Park just outside of Moncton, New Brunswick. And the lovely monster Teresa is bringing that 30 board out as we get ready for the first MX1 Moto of the day. And it will be brought to you by Smith Optics. My goodness, does Julie carry that moto board well, Brian? A little cheeky on the way by, my friend.
Great to have blonde Julie back. Of course, she did the tour for many years here at the Monster Energy Pro Nationals. Gerke right on the inside of the box. On the outside of the box, you can see the 161 of Tyler Villapoto shaking out the hands trouts, getting out those last-minute jitters.
As we go on board with the drift splitter and the 273 Redemption Kawasaki of Gavin Grayson, he gets a nice jump. How about the 55 of Josh Clark right out of the gate? Oh my goodness, the 26 of Morgan Berger with the Royal Distributing whole shot. What a jump.
Wow, ooh, and some head shake there in the high-speed corner. Look at Ryan Lockhart right on the inside in third. It looks like he's right beside Grayson, rocking the helmet cam.
I think I saw the 777 of Tim Trombley as we go to the drift lock-off cam and that big wall hit. Oh my, total saucing in there, Fabs.
A little bit of faceful, I think that was Villapoto that went wide there. Got on the gas hard out of the KTM corner. Clark in second, and look at this. Is this Graysick having a peek right now on Lockhart?
Guys, I think Salty has dropped back a little bit. Graysick's sitting in third, but look at the riders we have up in our top four right now. Berger, Clark, Graysick, and Trombley. Great to see some unfamiliar faces in the top five.
Yeah, you got that right. These guys are fast riders, top 10, but for them leading the race right now, especially Clark in second, that's his best so far. And Morgan Berger, well, he's had a couple hole shots already. We know he's really good out of the gate.
Great crowd here at the Riverglade MX Park as the boys launch off that big tunnel jump down into the valley. Sometimes gets super rutted. Looks like the 7 of Bobby Canary has moved up into 5th or 6th place. Gorky's ahead of him. They got Trombley right in their sights.
Trombley, a really big man on the bike, the 777, shoots Kawasaki. He's a hard rider to pass. He's quietly always roosting and rocking near the front of the pack. Gerke trying everything to get by, different lines, and just eating the roost as they go down to this real gnarly off-camber. Camera doesn't really depict how steep and angular that is, and the Gerkman dress wide.
One thing about this track too, Brian, there are a lot of rocks in this track. Here comes the number 2, the Coiler, Dusty Clad, as he busts Bobby Canary wide and actually didn't even make that step down, jump back to our start again on the drift helmet cam. Look at Josh Clark, but Morgan Berger was on the gas, Brian.
Oh, he just timed everything perfectly and just came through there with a perfect trajectory, really high speed around that corner, and then it's an upshift again down to that GP right-hander to the new part of the racetrack drives. I like it. Good soil back here, good roostable terrain, but still, like you say, a lot of rocks.
They call it the Apple Orchard. A little drop down in the valley, up into that right-hander. Looks like Graysick has made his way into 2nd place. Clark's still in 3rd. I see a Cowie back there. That might be, yes it is, it's Gorky. So top 4 riders still tight right now, but super impressed with the 26 of Morgan Berger. He's been getting better every round, and he's right now a top 5 guy as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, full privateer, and I tell you, he's just doing it out of heart and soul and fumes, because not a lot of money in that kid's camp. And he's making it to the starting line, and when you get a hole shot and can lead a pro national, just makes it all worth it. Hopefully, some sponsors will take note of this young man and help him out a bit next year.
You talked about Graysick as they were setting up for this moto, former national number 2 in this country. He's had some ups and downs in his personal life, some tragedies, but right now he is getting focused, sitting in 2nd place through the mechanics double-triple.
Yeah, they're not tripling now, I think just because it's tight start of the race. Look at how wide it is here. Graysick's got a nice peak on the inside, hits some kicker, is not able to get in Morgan's grill yet, but here he is, he's still pushing Travis. This is awesome racing.
Graysick, the tactician, little inside-outside move, and he launches over that wall head, Brian, and moves into the lead. Gavin Graysick, 273 Redemption Racing Kawasaki, is leading this moto.
He just threw caution to the wind and just pinned it off that wall hit, took the hard landing, and now Gerke gets by for 3rd. Right around the outside of number 55, Josh Clark on the Honda. So here, through the 6-pack by the beer garden goes Gerke. Bam, 3rd place, he's on a tear. We know Bobby K is charging hard, and we know Klatt's back there lurking and looming as well.
We have had some dynamite races on this track, Brian, throughout the years. Right now, I really like the way the track is setting up. Here we go again. I like Berger's defense. He goes to cut off for that inside line, but Graysick will have none of it. And here comes Clark over the wall hit, and you see Graysick take the lead through that Moto Van sweeper.
Gerke right there, but Graysick squared off early. cut up the inside, landed real hard to execute that pass. Now Gerke goes by into second. Gerke gets by Berger. And look, man, Grayson hasn't had much time to check out, so he's got the number 5 coming hard.
Nice little cluster here. We've got 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and I saw the number 2 of Dusty CLADE making his way into this 3-pack as they drop down into the valley. Berger missed that same red that Beaton did in that first moto. Working on the inside. Ever the opportunist. Here it is again.
Yeah, here he comes right now, landing simultaneously. Berger likes the traction right here through the middle. The rut is a lot harder to get into. There's big bumps, but it obviously is the way to make a pass. Gerke gets it done. Berger's got to work on his defense a bit, but seemingly loving that middle line. He's just sticking with it.
Oh, look at Berger coming through that off-camber. Fills CLADE full of meat sows as they come up into that Suzuki corner and then drop down into the valley. I love this part of the track, Brian.
CLADE, look at him, crisscrossing. He wants to get by quick. Let's see if Berger tries that inside. No, he leaves the open again. Dusty, look at that flat track, and it's pretty greasy up there.
It is, but look how aggressive Dusty CLADE is. You know when he's starting to move the bike around the track that he is feeling good. He loves this track. He went 1-1 last year, beat Fasciati straight up, took the overall. You know, he looks good right now. Oh, and Berger triples through. Nice job.
Yeah, that's a good perspective. That is a huge huck, that triple. Dusty, look at that. Looking for the smooth lines right up along the grass. Here we are on the lock-off cam. There goes Gerke right now, sitting in second, and here's a battle for third. Simultaneously off the jump traps. Looks like CLADE lands on the inside, into the trees, got him.
Took the big hit off that big wall jump that really slows them down as they come out of the GP section, wide through the KTM corner. Berger's gonna have to collect himself. Josh Clark has fallen back as the number 777 of Tim Trombley has made a pass.
And I like the roost out here is so punishing. That is some hard roost house.
As we see the battle for 3rd place tighten up through that huge monster right-hander. Oh, fast, this place is totally unbelievable. And when you think about the red clay, the red dirt out here, it really does look like meat to our lead. This is the 273, Gavin Grayson. Gorky has caught up as they come through that Yamaha Honda off-camber. A tight part of the track, Brian. You really got to be on the gas, on the brakes, and then really twist that throttle coming out of it into that Suzuki corner.
You got that right, Travis. Body English, throttle control, braking. So much going on this racetrack. Grayson is leading right now, but fellow American and series dominator, number 5, Matt Gerke, gets in there and just has his way with Grayson. Bam, in first place.
And it's that inside line again, Brian. It's such a subtlety, but yet huge because it really brings you around that corner quick. And Gorky's the master of finding those special lines as he triples through the mechanics area. How about that little throwback to Grayson in 2nd place?
Pretty much everyone tripling when they're alone, but when they're racing and dicing, they're opting to be a little more cautious because if you get crossed up or tangled up on that jump, it's a highly technical jump. That is bad news. So now the 777, the big man, he is an audacious character on the motorcycle. Bam, 5th place, he's got Berger.
And he just pushed Berger wide with all that size. Oh my goodness, now Grayson has got CLADE on the outside through the KTM corner, and CLADE is carrying a ton of speed in these drop-down sections, Brian. He will not be denied.
This is the Dusty CLADE of old. Everyone talks about Dusty of 06. He's riding the same, it's just everyone else has stepped up, and it comes down to luck this year, Travis. He's had his share of bad luck. Luck goes his way. He's a 2nd, 1st place guy all day long.
But the way he's been throwing the bike around the last few rounds, it does look like the Dusty CLADE of old. So getting really comfortable on the KTM would have been nice to see him start like that, but what the heck? He is in 2nd place right now as we get to our leader, number 5, Matt Gorky Monster. Leading edge Kawasaki, red plate for a reason, to the 36 Honda. Seidel sitting in 13th place. Not a great motor right now for the 161 of Tyler Hill. Oh my goodness, fabulous. He is having a ball out there. If he's not going to be in the top 10, he might as well bust out a huge whip or two.
Yeah, here's a replay of him on the step down. Just comes in and just look at that.
Goodness.
Right around inside out. What an entertaining rider, Tyler Villapoto. A tough moto for him. Obviously, though, coming back, having some fun. We got to watch for him in round 2.
Well, if you think about how big he is, he's about 130 pounds soaking wet, rolling that big 450 around this track as we see the number 7 of Bobby Kinnear getting his last lap flag to the number 273 of Gavin Grayson falling back 1 spot to 4th. To our leader again, number 5, Matt Gorky, getting back to Villapoto. Gorky and Villapoto teammates first time we've seen Villopoto race in a bunch of years, but he's looked good, Brian. He's had a really good season, and I think that it's going to propel him forward.
Yeah, he's still really young. He's got a lot of time. He hasn't raced a lot, and to come, like you say, on the big bike for a little guy, I know he wants to race in Canada on the 250 or the MX2 next year, but right here, team leader Matt Gerke, he is unreal. He has only lost 2 motos this whole year, and he's our winner. Stick around for interviews. Welcome back to Moncton, New Brunswick. There is our whole shot recipient, Morgan Berger. Well deserved, and the Royal distributing $200 to the Yamaha leaderboard. Canary charges hard. Tim Tremblay hangs tough. Kind of like Liam O'Farrell. What a moto. Moffenbauer and Jason Burke round out the top 10. GLADE!
Points leader Matt Gerke doing it once again here in the compound in the #1 spot. Matt, buddy, that time there. You didn't get off to a great start, but you kind of picked your way through. And how fun was it to battle Graysick for the lead? That might have felt pretty cool because he hasn't been up there in a while, and it was kind of cool battling with an American friend.
Yeah, for sure. He was going fast. I was like, dang, what's got into him? And it took me a while to get by him. And then I got by, started doing some good laps, and then I noticed Dusty was in second. He was going fast, so I had to pick it up. And picked it up, and luckily my bike was able to handle it, and I couldn't thank my team enough.
Dusty Clack keeping the podium roll going here. A second spot, Dusty. Another solid moto out there, but didn't get off to one of your best starts there, and I think you had to pick your way through. What made it tough, but you really started closing in on Gorky near the end.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like you said, I didn't get that start, and I was kind of bummed out about that. The track was pretty bad with like a lot of wet stuff on top, so tear-offs were going quick, and when I got into second and I seen Gorky, I mean, he was a ways, and I knew it was going to take a lot to push to get up to that pace, and I mean, I put on a bit of a charge, and then obviously he seen me right there, so I think he picked it up a bit, but it's a hot day. I'm trying to conserve a little bit of energy for that second moto and, you know, hopefully come out with a win there.
Hi, I'm Dusty Clad. I ride the KTM #2 bike. My motocross hero, hands down, growing up was Jeremy McGrath. I seen that he rode BMX and stuff too, which made it even cooler. Camp River as a place to live, hands down for me, is the best place on earth. I mean, it's a quiet town, yeah. I mean, but it's got everything I need. We got my lady. We got my daughter's name here. My boy's going here. Roses meaning the love of my family and all the rest of that. Then we got the bull, which represents Red Bull, believe it or not. I love playing guitar when I can and when I get time. I'm not the greatest at it, but you know, I like to learn it. Metallica, obviously, I listened to for years. Megadeth, Rise Against. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people kind of get the wrong impression of me a lot of times. It always looks like I got a serious face on me, but I think I'm a pretty nice guy and well-rounded. So yeah, if you want to say hi, come by and say hi. I'll definitely chat you up. I always hear nonstop about the 2006 days, and obviously for me, it feels like I ride that way. Falling down these days doesn't get any easier, so for me to stay on 2 wheels is very important, and to come home healthy to my family is the main thing I look forward to these days.
Getting the ink from the Camel River Crusher. Nice job, Dusty. Second MX2 moto right around the corner. Welcome back to round 7 of the 2012 Monster Energy Motocross Nationals, the Riverglade MX Park, as we get set for the second half of today's program. Oh my goodness, the 30 board is out, Fabs, as Monster Teresa brings the Moto 2 board across. This second MX2 Moto will be brought to you by Drift Action Cams, the evolution of the action cam.
Right you are, Travs, right you are. And again, number 12, our first Moto winner, Kevin Benoit, on that Duroy KTM, will be rocking the helmet cam. We can see Jeremy Medaglia tucked right inside the doghouse in the shade as Julie goes to 5 and takes off. Travs, the gate is down. Who's going to get that Royal distributing whole shot?
Huge straightaway into that sweeping left-hander. Let's have a look at the boys coming through, and it looks like it's the number 12 Duroy KTM of Kevin Benoit with that Royal distributing whole shot, and a great start for the number 20 Jared Allison, Yamalube Yamaha.
And the number 18 Image Tech Honda of Brad Notted sitting in third. Whoa. Oh boy, we got guys missing the wall. Carnage on the first lap.
Great visuals from our drift lock-off as we get back to our leaders. Benoit, number 12 in the lead, and number 20, Jared Allison. And remember, Fabs, Allison is embroiled in that battle for third place. Very prestigious in this class. So he's looking good right now in second. 2 Knotted, and it looks like the number 3 of Teddy there is in 4th place as they drop down into that meat's house.
Nobody wants to go inside through that saucy pit, so they're out in the middle, but good traction to the catapult that nobody is jumping.
Fabs, I think if they had more entry speed to that jump later in the moto, you'd be seeing guys doing the catapult. Dusty for sure. Maybe Spencer Knowles in this class as the fellas drop down. This is the battle for third place.
You got it, and it's getting hotter by the moment. Teddy taking a peek. He is dominant in this class. He's got the points lead, but he wants more points into the new section. He's got the inside, and it looks like he's got the line and the measure on Notting.
A huge handful of throttle through the apple orchard, and Brian, look who's coming up. The number 28 of Spencer Knowles. A huge crash with Kyle Beaton in the first moto, and he's back at it. He is as tough as nails.
And talking to him between motos, he was pretty woozy. Not sure if he was going to ride. Of course, he wasn't unconscious, so he has every right to be on the racetrack, and he looks like he's getting his second win for fourth place. Huge adrenaline. His side is torn up really bad, but here he is racing. These guys are tough as they come.
Again, to quote the great Ross Peterson, as tough as a $2 steak, the number 28 Spencer Knowles. Let's see as they align as they come into this rutted right-hander. Knowles grabs a handful of throttle and makes it happen. What a pass.
Oh, and he gets all sideways and still manages to make the finish line jump, but bounces, and then Notted hits the brakes opposite of it. I thought Notted was going to take another stab at it.
You can really see how the triple helps through that mechanic section, Brian, because you have to almost slow down. If they don't want to double, very slippery coming through the GP section for our leader, number 12. Oh, and Allison goes down in the same spot. Oh, that's a tough break, Brian. He was in second.
Well, that corner is probably the nicest on the track. They mixed in a lot of sawdust wood chips, and you can just come in and pin it anywhere. There's traction, but if you come on the gas too early, the front end knifes under. Classic mistake there, and a little bit over-aggressive for Jared Allison.
The number 60 of Meston was having his greatest day yet so far. He had 8th in the first moto, Brian. He was sitting 12th, and he went down on the outside, so you're right. It's a little saucy all over the place, but according to Gold Jeans, the riders are liking all that mixture to our lead package. Benoit Mayer in second with the Allison put down. Spencer Knowles in third place. I love that guy, and here comes the 19 of Topher Ingles.
Ingles always quietly in the mix. He's not on a flashy bike, he's not on a flashy team, but he just manages to get himself in the mix. Battle for fifth is getting hot as heck right now. Through the six-pack they go. Here comes Jeremy after his tough start to this moto, and he gets right through the sousy bit.
He did not mind going into that wet spot, Brian, because he wanted that inside line. Medaglia is so aggressive. He will not be denied on this track.
Well, he's on the outside now, ducking down for Noddet's roost. Do the big step down. Noddet yanks the tear off. He might need another one, though, if Jeremy gets his way.
You know what he's like, though, when he doesn't get a great start? He's furious under the helmet. And look at how aggressive he was. You're right, on the outside. Handful of throttles. They hit into the apple orchard.
Man, the crowd back there waving flags and their t-shirts and towels cheering on Jeremy. They love that kid here, and I'll tell you, they also love Dusty Clad out here on the East Coast. But here in MX2, we've got some unfinished business on the racetrack. It looks like Knowles, he's getting pressured.
Knowles looks a little ginger as he swings wide. Super aggressive Topher Ingles and that Scott Honda as he swings on the inside, gets that line of choice, moves into third place.
It almost looked like Knowles was hurting bad there. It was catching up to him a bit. The adrenaline wearing off perhaps as our leader, Kevin Benoit, class of the field since his return at round 5. Worst he's finished in a moto is third, Travs, and he's banked a lot of wins.
Our number 3, that's Teddy Mayer, is sitting in second place. Oh my goodness. Number 15, Jared Medaglia, is on the gas as he gets by the number 20 to Spencer Knowles over that wall hit coming out of the GP section. So he is making passes right now.
A semi-half-hearted retaliation for Knowles, but I think he figures he knows better. Being hurt, might as well just kick back, get some points here. He can't even expect much. We didn't even think he'd start this race, Travis.
Through the Coors Light 6-pack down into that monster right-hander, an absolutely scenic track, Brian, one of the best on the circuit. Back to the battle for 6th place. The number 20 of Jared Allison has made a bunch of passes after that touchdown. It looks like he's battling for 6th right now, moving ahead to the number 19 of Topher Ingles. Jeremy Medaglia has closed the door on him, Brian, and that's for 3rd place.
Yeah, into the off-camber they go. Jeremy going wide, crisscrossing. It's really hard to pass there. Bit one line on the left of our screen. We see Jeremy still trying, but on the right of our screen, we can see Jared Allison gets by Noddet, and that is 6th place.
And remember, Allison's embroiled in that battle for 3rd place with Noddet and Ingles. With beaten out, it's just the 3 of them, so those are important passes. As we look on the left side of our splitter, the number 19 of Ingles goes wide, and Medaglia goes inside and brushes him almost right into that Motovan banner. Great pass.
What a creative line choice for Jeremy. Went to the right of that mud puddle, the big meat souse puddle, you call it, and he gets on the inside. But look at Topher. He is not lying down as they go through the mechanics area. Topher gets him right back.
Babs, you always say how important it is if you get past to get up and repass that guy. Yeah. Ingles did just that through that mechanics double-double section.
Yeah, good call on that. Here they come to the wall. He's still pushing the envelope, Jeremy. he gets him right back.
Perhaps I think the inside on the wall hit, which takes you to the outside of the sweeper, is definitely the line of choice. We've seen a couple passes there today, and here's that first little connection that they got. Battaglia goes through the middle of that meat's house, pushes Ingles wide into the Motovan corner, and then just drives his nose right in there.
That is an aggressive block pass, and that's what you got to do in motocross. These guys are all such good buddies off the track. It seems that this kind of racing gets left behind, more old school, and now they're not tripling. Topher gets some mojo here, and I like Jeremy though, Travis. He's not afraid of that old school contact, but right now Topher gets him back, and Topher, man, this is great for his points, and that jump, Battaglia, the only top guy to not triple all day.
To the number 28 of Spencer Knowles, sitting nicely in 5th place. Brian, thinking about that crash again, he looks good in 5th. A lot of points there to our leader, number 12, Kevin Benoit, has led from the whole shot line. Fabulous. This is exactly the way he wanted to finish his day.
Well, if you look at Benoit, every time he gets the whole shot, and I mean every time in the Nationals, he wins the race. So this is huge for him. He gets the whole shot. He won the race. This guy's statistically sound. Here he is rolling in. It was a hot, tough moto. Takes the win. Good job, Duroy KTM. Kevin Benoit, top of the world right now.
A clean sweep here today, Brian, and also his 4th moto win of the season for that Motovan back pilot. Let's get to our Yamaha leaderboard. Second MX2 Moto top 10. Let's head down to Parker Allison in 8th, Dylan Kalin with a nice comeback in 9th, and Richard Gray in 10th. Let's go to the impound with Genus.
That's the way you want to have a moto. Whole shot, run every lap up front. Look at this. Every tear-off still on the Oaks. Hey, can't get much perfect than that.
No, that's the perfect day, and couldn't wait for that day, and here it is.
Points leader having a solid day here, gained a solid points, Teddy. I know you didn't win, but probably feel good to get out here. That's a tough track, tough moto day with the heat the way it is.
Yeah, you know what? It's pretty humid up here. I didn't expect it, but it's been scorching hot and dry back home. So I've been training in that, but it definitely makes it harder. And I did what I needed to do this weekend, and I'm super pumped.
Little damage control for Teddy Mayer. 2 are points after 7 of 9. He has a good stranglehold on it. But look at the battle for 3rd with Allison, Ingles, and Noddet. And then further back, it's really tight through the pack. Of course, beaten south. Great MX2 moto, and we've got one more left for MX1. Stick with us.
The final moto of the day is on the line at the Riverglade MX Park. This is the 2012 Monster Energy Motocross Nationals. Mark Travers and Brian Coster in the booth as we get set for moto number 2 in the MX1 class. Brought to you by Royal Distributing as Julie brings that moto board across. She's got a nice little swagger about her today, Fabs.
Yeah, she sure does. And we see Gerke right on the inside of the box. Dusty Klatt with a strong first moto. Liam O'Farrell, 31 on that Italian-made TM, doing pretty good. Jay Burke checking things out there on the other side of the box.
Second generation Salt, 2 positions inside as we go on board with the number 273 Redemption Kawasaki, Gavin Grayson. He got a great jump in the first moto, and once again the 55 of Josh Clark with a great start, but the number 5 of Matt Gorky was all about the white line, Fabulous, and he gets the Royal Distributing hole shut. Oh, look at Canary coming in.
Wow, 83 Davey Frazier got up close and personal with Graysick as well. Look at this onboard footage up to the wall. We go, Graysick right in there around 5th, 6th, and we got little portal wide again and just soushes us.
That trip lockoff is just taking a beating today, Fabs, as the riders in the lead drop down into that KTM right-hander, and then they pop back out, Gorky in the lead. Then we have Clark, Canary, Berger, and Boffenbauer with a great start finally.
Yeah, he needs that for sure, and all red on that yellow. Look at this challenge for the lead goes Josh Clark. We haven't seen Gerke get challenged much, but I'm liking the stones and the style of Josh Clark up from New England. This kid is ripped, and he is serious about his racing.
Getting better in every single moto, Brian. And what I like about him is he doesn't do as well as he thinks. He gets the full Teddy Mayer poos.
Yeah, he is upsetting. He ain't smiling unless he wins it. Right now, he is in a position to smile, dicing with our series points leader, Matt Gerke, and we just saw Klatt without the greatest start.
Back to a replay of the Royal Distributing hole shot, the number 5 leading edge Kawasaki of Matt Gorky with a great line sweeping through with a lot of speed. But look at Bobby Canary come flying in here with all that chop.
Wow, he's just, look at him from swapping on those braking bumps just side to side. Looks like he's going to take Clark, but Clark gets the hookup on the outside, and Bobby K's in 3rd.
On board with Gavin Graysick through the double-double section into the mechanics area, into the GPs. Loving the traction of the soil here. You see the right side of the splitter, our leader, number 5, Matt Gorky. Oh, and Moffenbauer goes down, and Graysick gets collected.
Oh, man, this is not good for Gavin or Moffenbauer, both having really good motos, but look at the quickness for Grayson getting up, but look at all the bikes that passed by him, Travis. He lost at least 5-6 spots.
Early in the moto, Brian, when you go down, there's riders flying by all over you, so you got to get back up, get the bike fired, and get racing. Looks like the number 30 of Jay Burke is right in front as they drop down into the KTM corner.
Oh, look at all the stones there on the outside. Gavin gets some good hookup as they pop up here. And now we see CLADE going through the six-pack. Oh, he's got a nice line on the outside. This is sixth place, Travs, and that saucy pit's starting to dry up.
Great start for the 734 of Rayner. We've seen him battle in the top 10 in a lot of motos, so a quick Canadian kid starting to get his feet wet in the top 10.
Yeah, Tyler Rayner definitely getting some experience. And I think behind him, it's the 161 of Tyler Villapoto. We saw Tyler doing those sick whips throughout the day, so seventh place is starting to get tight. And we see the 161 really jumping further than Rayner into the new Orchard section and drop down, and that looks like the inside, and it plays right into Villapoto's hands. The inside works every time there, but Rayner having a peak, but good traction for Villapoto right now, and he's on that ultra fast trick, leading edge Kawasaki 450.
What a great track today, Brian. I really like the way this thing is setting up. There's ruts, there's some sweeper sections. Guys are able to carry a lot of speed up to the 26 of Morgan Berger, and he's got the 777 of Tremblay on him in this battle. Here comes CLADE for the three-pack.
Man, this is getting interesting. CLADE takes the same line as Tremblay. Tremblay makes the move on Berger, puts him up into fourth place, grabs a tear-off. That means CLADE is in sixth. And let's see if these boys triple. Yeah, it looks like the Tremblay tripled there.
So Tremblay up to fourth, Berger in fifth, CLADE in sixth, who looks just ultra aggressive on this track through the GP section. And there's Villapoto to our leader, number 5, Matt Gorky. He got the whole shot. He looks terrific in that new Thor gear, but Bobby Canary is not letting him get away.
Bobby K is keeping him honest for sure. Trav's riding one of the best motos I've seen all year. Then it is Clark, who's got a nice cushion here over Tremblay, sitting fourth right there. Now look right here. There it is. CLADE through the tree lines. Gets on the inside of Berger.
Monster Energy's Gorky through the Coors Light six-pack, looking back to the number 7 of Bobby Canary in second place. Canary had gotten by Clark on the second lap, Brian, so these guys are starting to tighten up. Clark sitting in third place. This is his best moto so far right now, and there he goes on that outside little tricky line. You saw that one earlier, didn't you?
Oh yeah, you missed that middle hump there, and now CLADE's got that line too and gets around Tremblay. That is part of the track, so very creative line choice. You know that Clark's been using it since this morning, and so is Dusty, so only a few of the guys to spot that.
A couple of bottles out of the six-pack, they make it a four-pack, Brian.
Yeah, here it is, Travs, up the inside. Dusty takes his peak, but we know Tremblay can get it right back, and he goes for it, but CLADE just has none of it. It gets around the outside, and now right around the outside of that jump, you're gaining a good full second and a half on the exit, and look how Dusty can just jump down, clear everything. Tremblay's got to deal with those last few bumps.
Morgan Berger right now sitting in sixth place. He's having a dynamite moto and a great weekend on this Riverglade track. Tyler Villapoto, who didn't have a great first moto, is finding some lines in the second moto, Brian, and ultra aggressive on that big KX 450.
Yeah, he's a strong rider, gets stronger later in the motos. There he is. He takes sixth place away from Berger, and this kid is not banking on his famous last name. He's very much his own person. He always charges hard and never gives up.
Gavin Graysick through the mechanics there has been making some passes. Brian sitting right now in front. Look at this, the number 55 of Josh Clark has pulled off, Brian. He's got a problem. He was sitting in third place. That was a podium position.
I saw him cruising really slow. It's a flat rear tire, so this stage of the moto, he's done. Gerke checking out, but Bobby definitely, look at just a couple, 2.5 seconds back, so Bobby having a breakout ride. He's at least keeping Gerke in sight.
What an absolutely gorgeous shot when you get down to the bottom of that valley and they sky off of that step down to the battle for 10th place. Seidel on the inside. He busts wide on Rayner, and here comes the 30 of Jay Burke. So a nice little cluster in the top 10.
Yeah, some new faces. I'm liking that. Jay Burke, a definite solid top 10 on that machine back label at Honda, doing things his own way. JBR Racing, and he's looking for any smooth line he can here.
Back to the fourth place rider. That's the 273 of Gavin Graysick. This will be 4-4 for him in the day if he finishes this way, coming around this Motovan right-hander to get his last lap flag.
We saw him go down hard with Moffenbauer, but he's been able to remount and charge harder. Moffenbauer's still back in the top 10. We want to touch quickly some great racing on the track, but Tyler Medaglia, you're wondering where he is, all his fans. He only did one lap of that first race. He had to pull out with that twisted ankle that he tore up at St. Julie.
Brian, you touched on Moffenbauer. You just saw him make a nice pass on Seidel for 10th place as we move to our leader, number 5, Matt Gorky, on his final approach. Another 1-1 day for Gorky. He's only missed a couple of motos this season. Of course, the last time was in St. Julie. comes back with a clean sweep today, Brian. The guy's got the red plate. He is unbelievable.
And he looks so good this year. That turquoise blue gear just suits him to a T. Leading edge monster Kawasaki. Gotta be stoked. To the Yamaha leaderboard, Canary keeps him honest, and Dusty has a great comeback. So does Grayson. Filippoto never ceases to amaze. Tremblay, Berger, Burke, Moffenbauer inside him.
A hot one in the impound, finishing second. Second MX1 Moto is the number 7 Rockstar Yamaha of Bobby Canary. Big smile on his face. He likes being on the podium. Bobby, it's a tough race out there, really hot.
Yeah, you know, I've been training in the heat. It's been really hot all summer, you know, all over the country, and I've just been putting in my hours. Want to stay strong through these motos and keep that OTSFF Rockstar Yamaha up front.
Nice job in the impound, Travs, but who do you think you are, Galdi or something with that backwards hat? After 7 of 9, we know our top 10 fastest, but we got to take note of Tyler Medaglia and Colton Fasciati. Looks like they're going to be out for the rest of the year. Brian House Memorial Award goes to the best finishing maritime rider, and today it's Davey Frazier. Well done, kid.
Nice job, Fabs. You have been watching the 2012 Monster Energy Motocross Nationals, brought to you by Motovan.com, Canada's source for power sports parts and accessories, and RoyalDistributing.com, Canada's power sports leader. For Ryan Gold, Brian Coster, Mark Stallybrass, Brent Lee, I am Mark Travers. We'll see you next week in the sands of the capital city.